Yo, yo, how's it going, Ryan? GM. Good luck on the runs. Thank you very much. Oops, should be bearing mage. Yo, how's it going, lol? And Lane, nice to see you guys again. My hero. I don't know if I'm a hero, but thank you for watching. The savior of Tob, surely. 5-1 Baba, right? Finished my 99 prayer grind, got a Void Waker from a DP? What the hell's a DP? I don't even know what that is. Drop party? Holy shit, I'm old. I'm surprised I didn't catch on. I'll let him hit me once. Give me the monkeys. Stop right there, criminal. He's gotten away with it. You got a whole Void Waker? Holy shit. That just registered in my mind. I was like, a whole ass Void Waker. I chose the wrong side to be on. I would like to learn how to do that without red Xing. What do you mean? You mean Baba? I mean, we just face tank him, honestly. My thrall's carrying. Let's go. Oh, lost a tick total. The timing to walk under so you can keep doing it, keep him doing shockwave. I have a guide in the description if you want to. But it does require red X, you know. It is technically a red X cycle, just to clarify. It's just a more advanced one than the regular 6-tick red X. Because you just red X and then you basically kind of like tank. Yeah, there's a 5, it's called 5-to-1 Baba. It's very interactive. Highly recommend for solos. You can even do it with like squishy melee gear. And then you can always do regular 6-tick red X if you're like really low HP, or you can just heal, depending what your setup is. It's really nice because you can control the when the ranged baboons spawn in P1. And then you can just get them run over by a boulder, don't have to deal with them. Getting better at regular red X, that's fine. I would recommend learning the regular red X with the no item. That's like the first step to learning 5-to-1. Where you run under Baba, and then you can control click out. That one's a lot more convenient to do. Don't need an item. And it's required for 5-to-1 to know something like that. 34, I don't want to hit again. The clicks are bad. And I let like 3 in. I think I only let 2 in. I can proc now. Where's the damage? Don't you ever get bored of ToA? I get bored of anything. Don't worry, ToA included. But I enjoy streaming it. The raid itself, I mean, it's not that unentertaining. It's not bad. For sure, there are some things I would like to see changed and stuff, but like, you know, it's not that bad of a raid. Pretty engaging for the first few rooms. Zebak and Wardens, definitely like, eh. But I do enjoy Baba, Kephri, and Akkha. What would I change? I think the invos could be a bit more skill expressive. Gear could be a little bit more diverse in the raid, especially is one of my main complaints. The fact that like Scythe, for example, is not used or cannot be used. Not really like not used, but more like can't be used. Really only good in 0 invo. Crush is not good, even though there's a bug in the raid. You know, like small things like that. Like, I feel like if someone wanted to go out of their way to bring Full Inquisitor in a blue Karis, it should be better than Fang on Kephri. Random bug fixes like Kephri not being, you can't Bone Dagger Kephri off the very start in the solo. I think that sucks. Should be changed. Or not changed, fixed. It's annoying. So do you think I should stick to 300s to 350s until I get yellow gem? No. Absolutely not. Yellow gem doesn't help that much. It's only 30 invo getting dehydration on. I would try to push as high as you can. Like if you have a Fang Bofa setup, definitely do like at least 400s. Because you don't need yellow gem for 400s at all. It's nice, especially for like Akkha's last phase. But definitely, since you have a Void Waker especially, like that's spec that could be used on Void Waker. We said Bone Dagger. We're using Bone Dagger ToA for specifically very high invo runs, yeah. because we have overly draining on. We only get one shot at a good spec for Baba, and Bone Dagger cannot miss. Plus, you can't even drain more than 20, so it works out pretty well. Bone Dagger on average, like if we're comparing one spec to one spec, Bone Dagger is way better than BGS. Tried your solo guide with Dins. ToA? Or are you talking about Coliseum? He said solo. I think he meant Colo. Works wonders, but you suck. It's fine. You know, it happens. You'll get there eventually, right? Never sweat the process. You'll get it eventually. That's all that matters. Who cares if you're a little bit slower to get it? Got my GM Whisper time with your vid. Thank you, no problem, dude. Congrats. I'm embarrassed to tell you my Infernal Cape was obtained after 192 tries. And it's not embarrassing to me, I don't care. Cape's a cape. As long as you didn't buy it. Look. At the end of the day, you didn't buy it, and that's all that matters. To me, you know. Could have taken you 1,000 attempts, I wouldn't have cared. If you said you didn't buy it, that's all I want to hear. What invo did you say was a waste? I didn't say any invo was a waste. I said it would be a waste to cap your invo because you don't have a Sun Cares, basically. 3 mil a run? I don't think it's like 3 mil, but definitely costs money for supplies, but it's fine. Is it dumb to camp Lightbear for ZCB specs in a 500? I think if you're Adrenaline, ZCB Lightbear is better than doing like a Magus camp, but it's not that much better. If we're talking like Wardens or like if you're shadowing Zebak. Tbow Zebak with BGS? No, that's his meta. You're doing the correct strat. The reason I mage Zebak is because I'm doing an overly draining grade. Or mage is like competitive enough that it's like might as well mage it, if that makes sense. Because it's not like I can spam ZCB, I have overly draining. It'd be a lot of inventory. I think if it was like a team raid, I'd be chilling. I would do it. But yeah, in a 500, if you can Tbow Zebak, and you have a Lightbear overly draining sound on, yeah, for sure, do it. Cause like that's just meta. So took off overly draining to learn double trouble. Wait, what? You mean overly draining so that I don't. The only thing I'm misunderstanding is how the overly draining and double trouble are. How having overly draining off helps you learn double trouble. That's the only thing I'm wondering. Probably took me like, I don't remember if it was like a 2-week grind to get my Infernal Cape. Something like that. Oh, does it mean like just so you can sun more often? In case you messed up? Or do you mean like now that you've learned double trouble, you're going to be taking off overly draining? I think that's what you mean, right? Now that you've learned double trouble, you can now take off overly draining. I think I got it now. Living at JX Studios? Hell yeah, dude. On top of the server. I almost left the raid. Yeah, for 500 speeds, that sounds like a good strat. I think you're supposed to run quiet prayers on those raids too. Because you don't get a level 3 Zebak or something. Level 4 Zebak, sorry. Although if you're hunting money, it's better to do like 540s or some shit. So that's up to you. You wearing light bear or the Magus? I'm using Magus. Because I have overlay draining. I don't really get to spec that much anyway. CBA with keepback, you gotta get used to it. It's easy. You get it eventually. A lot of the time you don't deal with it. It's worth it. I'm sure you'll pick it up pretty quick. Remember, keepback is easier with double trouble because you don't have to deal with it 90% of the time. Now that you've learned double trouble, you might as well. Dropping Torva legs from Asorial Rancor might make it easier with the extra restore. Yeah, it does. Definitely one of the most chill setups. Isn't it crazy? We could just do 545s without really flicking that much these days. Like barely Kephri flicking. I might flick at Zebak, but I don't think I even needed to. Ink Mace is meta on the small? No. I mean, it's the same as Rapier. It doesn't really matter. It's just I'm too lazy to flick, so I might as well have something with a little bit of prayer bonus. And the Mace has prayer bonus. If you're down to do what's called tick fixing on Kephri, where you like squeeze in every single amount of ticks, then you can use Rapier and use it there too. There's a pretty small difference overall in the grand context of the raid. It's up to you. But see, I'm just here like camping it, so might as well get some prayer bonus in. Speaking of which, when I get 200 mil, I need to switch to... It needs to switch back to like a Torva leg setup, unfortunately. I can go on accurate. Can I show my ToA log? Yeah, sure. I could put it in the chat if you want to look at it now. Wondering why you shadows Zebak. In the description of the video, there's a little bit of more in-depth explanation. Basically, it's close enough, and you have to bring in like so much stuff to make Tbow worth it. Not really. You just have to. Yeah, just read the description. I don't want to explain all of it. There's a lot of like reasoning behind shadowing at a high invo, super high invo. And a lot of other invos, I don't really do it. 10 shadows? No, that's 10 pets. It's 6 shadows. But shadowing lets you take a really chill inventory. And you don't really lose that much time on Zebak, to be honest. Sorry for making you explain. It's okay. I get a lot of the same questions like all the time, so I'm kind of used to it. There's a lot of intricacies of like, when do you want to use Lightbearer, when do you want to use Magus, when do you want to use Ultor, why do you not have ToA legs on, why are you shadowing Zebak when Tbow is technically better. And there's like tons of explanations depending on the invo that you're doing. Like for example, I was messing around with the Masori ZCB setup for farming 485s, right? And it turns out, unless you want to like really be a hardcore flicker, it's better to take less switches so you can go double power. And you just spam ZCB specs because that's more time saved than bringing better switches. Going double power and making your setup revolve around that. Compared to going like a more traditional like power life or whatever. I think Glass Sim is good for practicing. I haven't tried it, to be honest. But probably. The simulators in general are pretty good. Would you camp Shadow plus melee for first 500? Yeah, I would. Very chill on the inventory space. Would recommend. Why do you have to switch back to the Torva legs after 200 mil? Because if I switch my attacks out to attack, then I will lose max hits. I mean, I still only have a 50 max hit even after putting on the Torva legs. But the DPS is close enough. If I don't take the Torva legs when I go on attack style, then I will just straight up be losing pretty significant amount of DPS. Well, significant to me at least. Oops, didn't mean to step on that. Never purple. It's fine, I'm not even dry. Literally dry streak of 1. Seeing you effortlessly doing the raid makes you want to drop the whole bank for ToA. Would not recommend. As much as I like doing ToA, you never want to get locked to one content. That's always a bad idea for you. IMO. Always have variety when you play the game. Otherwise you won't enjoy it. I'm maxed, so I can do whatever I want. But a lot of people, they'll do like 100 ToA and then they'll be like, yeah, fuck that. 300's feasible. Warp Scepter, Bofa, and Zami Hasa. Why the hell do you have a Bofa but a Warp Scepter? You have some other questions to answer here. Iron Man, that doesn't answer the question. That does not work here. You have a whole Bofa and you don't have a Trident? Come on, bro. Iron Man doesn't get you out of this. How dare you? But yes, it is possible. Would I recommend it? Of course not. You can do whatever you want. I grieved the ending. This could have been like a 132. Oh well. You want to skip the Trident grind? I don't know about skipping it. That's not a... I mean, unless you're going to Top. If you go to Top, it's fine. But it's kind of hard to skip from Warp to Shadow, you know? Viable? Yes. Recommend? No. You could probably do 400s. Honestly, if you're like super experienced at ToA, you could probably do 400s. But obviously that's like a huge gap. You could definitely do at least 350s, I think. Because Warp Scepter is really only used for P2 and Akkha. So But I would not really recommend the Trident skip. That sounds ass. Be very frank with you. I'm gonna let him hit me once. I wanted to spawn the range. I think they spawned inside a rock. Trident is pretty easy. It is, yeah. He's just too lazy to grind Slayer, I guess. It's not, definitely don't do any funny like 4-tick butterfly business though. That would be really bad with a Warp Scepter. You just have to pray he skips to like melee where you can like Burning Claw him or something, or switch to range where you can just, you know, destroy him with Bofa. He's taking what I call an ill-advised route. Feasible, yes. I would do like a 350 probably. And you see that part where the rolling boulders are coming down? Normally you wake him up with a Fang, but you could just sit there and Bofa him. Just make sure you don't proc the next one. That'll make Baba a lot easier. They made ranging Baba a lot nicer. Why am I stalling him? I don't need to stall him. You play leagues? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing leagues. Have you gotten to Hallowed Sepulchre? If so, did floor 5 take you ages to get proficient? Floor 5 actually didn't take me that long. I think floor 4 took me a little bit longer, surprisingly. But it does take some practice, especially that very last puzzle with the flame and just the last one in general is pretty difficult, I will admit. I found the beginning of floor 5 to be pretty easy. It was just particularly the end was a little bit hard. The very last puzzle. But it didn't take me ages. I would say probably like within 5 hours I felt pretty confident. Like at doing it consistently within 5 hours. But I have a lot of like movement practice from like Soda Seg, for example, so I already knew the movement mechanics of the game very well. If you're not as familiar with the movement mechanics, then yeah, I guess it could take a bit longer. But how do you not burn out from this content? It's pretty easy. You just gotta stream it, read the chat, and then make a no-flick setup like this, so you're not clicking your brains out. You click on the 545 stream, you expect the streamer to be flicking his brains out. Locked in, and I'm just here reclined reading chat. It's great. Unless you meant League of Legends, in which case I have not played League of Legends recently. I will be playing leagues. For sure. Dude, my DPS is so sad. Thinking Varlamore from Desert. My friends all love doing TOB, so I'm probably going to be doing more Tanya no matter what. So I'm guessing Varlamore, Tyrowin, and Mori for me. Man, I griefed it. I let 3 in. I did not mean to still have my chins out. I meant to switch to my blowpipe there, but I think I dragged. CG rush? Oh, I don't know if I'm doing a CG rush. I'm probably gonna do Varlamore first. The plan was to basically combine the crystal armor and the Varlamore spear with Blood Fury. I think on a pure DPS build, Fremi is probably better for what I'm doing, but because my friends all want to do Mori, I'll make the best out of it. Wow, this is really cringe. I did not proc. A lot of people have different opinions on what mega rare to prio. What do you think should be your first mega rare? Whatever content you enjoy, I'll be honest. Shadow is by far the strongest. If we're talking access to money makers, Shadow is by far the best mega rares. If we're talking main account, GP, kind of stuff, it's not even close. The upkeep for Shadow is not that much. You get access to really high money making methods like high invo ToA. Player dependent skill, of course, like any other raid. People don't talk about it a lot, but Shadow outpaces Tbow at Chambers, which is insane. Like, you save more time having a Shadow at Chambers than you do having a Tbow at Chambers. And then even at TOB, Shadow is serviceable. It's good at Soda Seg, and it's good at P2 Verzik. Like, it only gets out-competed by straight-up Scythe at P2. It unlocks all the God Wars bosses. I don't know if that matters, but to a lot of people don't like doing God Wars. But it is, you know, relevant, I guess, because there's more content. No one cares about Calify Queen, I'll be honest. I know it's BIS Calify Queen, but... I am planning on making a separate build for Desert Tbow, just because I want to use the Drygore Blowpipe. I don't think it's going to be anything special, though, but we'll see. So like Shadow Bofa standard melee should be first mega rare setup. Yeah, or you can do Shadow and then like Masori. That's fine too. Shadow Masori is good too. Would be a good all-rounder. Surprisingly, Masori does a pretty good job. Like wherever Bofa is, it does a pretty good job. At the end of the day, the mega rare thing doesn't really matter. If we're being like elitist and stuff, it's like, who cares? Because we're arguing about money making, right? But we forgot about the elephant in the room, which is Colosseum, which doesn't require any mega rares the entire time to do at a high level. That was absurdly slow, Kephri. Like, yeah, it unlocks TOA, like Shadow unlocks TOA, unlocks Chambers, but at the end of the day, most of these aren't gonna beat a Fangy boy at the Colosseum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have this 1.5 billion gear, but if you don't know how to do Colosseum, you're going to be losing to someone with a 100 mil setup anyway, so like, does the money really matter to you? It's more about accessibility to content, in which case I think Shadow is best, or Tbow is best. Putting me on blast, my guy. Yo, I'm just saying what it is, you know? Unless you're like a crackhead at ToA or doing mega scale chambers, you're just gonna get beat by a fangy boy at the Coliseum who's good, you know? It is what it is. It's how broken the Fang is. And by crackhead, I mean you have to be at least doing like 525s. To be like beating someone at the Coliseum who's like pretty proficient at it. It is what it is. The ZCB Masori setup is pretty good, honestly. You can. I was experimenting with it in ToA. You can get pretty good 485s going with that setup. Wow, I'm really gonna miss 2 DPS checks in one stream. No, we're good today. Like, I was pleasantly surprised how strong the ZCB Masori setup is for ToA. I was getting roughly about 35 minutes for 485 with the ZCB setup. But I would probably recommend Shadow. Having Shadow at ToA is nice. I mean, you guys are watching a ToA stream, so I assume most of you guys want to do ToA, right? So get the Shadow. It's more fun. Trust me, burning through like Olm's hands with Shadow is disgusting. Having Shadow for Vespula, Portal, and Mystics is disgusting. You can Shadow the freaking Shamans and Chambers. Like, that's not right. That shouldn't be allowed. But it is. Even if you don't even do ToA, I would do Shadow. It's so good. Ah, what buttons did I press to get myself in this situation? I'm gonna sell my scythe to get a Shadow. Hey, if you're doing Tav, I wouldn't do it, but it's still good. Or actually, Coliseum, you'll be fine without the scythe, honestly. Just get like a Soul Reaper Axe if you want. You can buy a whole Shadow and a Soul Reaper Axe. You can get a whole Shadow and a Soul Reaper Axe. Think about that. Oh no, you wouldn't be fanging Soul, you'd be fanging the waves. You would use a whip or a Noxious Halberd on the boss. Noxious Halberd? Not for the waves. But it is decent, like you can do some funny stuff with it. Like Solar Flare Solves and Reentry, it's pretty nice. But yeah, Fang is for sure OP on the waves. I think it's about 8% better than Noxious Halberd. Well, even with Mayo 3, Halberd is still really good at some funny solves because you can hit diagonally, whereas other melee weapons can't hit diagonally, even with Myopia 3. Yeah, I didn't think that would be allowed either. I was like, huh. That's pretty broken. Ah, you convinced me, sucker. But yeah. Shadow, Soul Reaper, X, you could combo too. 50, I should heal. I'm a good influence. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, myopia 1 to 3 is the same. It's just 3 points. You got a max roll to access, good luck. Pretty good Seerculls today. You got a Magus ring as well? Up to you. I would say so, yeah. You want to get to the point where you're doing like 500 plus overlay draining rates though. But even if you're not, you can still use the Magus ring for like Wardens and stuff. And I would get it just for Zebak, honestly. But yeah, if you do plan on doing ToW, remember like shadowing, so to say, you do want to be in melee range, of course, so you don't grief your team as much. But that's like a viable option. Does a lot of DPS. Shadowing P2. I think you might want to bring a Forgotten Brew when you're first learning that, though. You'll lose all your blood runes? You won't. You have to go to the TOB well. I'm gonna go to the TOB well and uncharge it there. Don't uncharge it by right-clicking and uncharge. You want to use it on the well. It'll refund you. I have to wait for my attack timer there. That's so cringe. I'm not taking any chances. Because if I mess that up, I have to drink my adrenaline. So I can live. Bought a scythe for 420 mil back in the day. Holy shit. Who knows, maybe you buying the shadow and you just get a solo shadow anyway. And then you can buy the scythe back. Who knows, right? You guys ever realize playing RuneScape long term to get your goals is a psychological warfare on yourself to convince yourself to do stuff? I'm kind of baffled that you're just able to camp Augur. Yo, I don't give a fuck. This setup is amazing. The times are good too and everything. If no Tbow, would Shadow be okay on Zebak? Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, you should always use a DPS calculator when you have questions like that, because most of the time the answer may depend on your gear. Like if you're in Arams, maybe it's worse than Bofa, so you might as well use a Bofa. But for most people, like a lot of people like to have at least Virtus before they start, in which case it's almost always yes. And like a single piece of mage gear, like the Magus ring, may like influence change that. I have so much prayer. ToA is the only raid you can solo. Hey, eventually you can do it. Surely, eventually you'll learn chambers, right? Unless you hate the raid like I do. Where's the damage? Holy moly. I don't take chances in case I mess up the regen timing. Yo, how's it going, Ape Escape? $18, not a grasp angle. Next one could be skulls. We'll save up. You bring the Ultor, the 3 down core. Well, I also have overly draining, so I would bring it anyway. Just because, you know, it's good DPS for like Baba and stuff. Baba, Kephri, whatever. Light Bearer doesn't really do anything because I have overly draining. It's like 3 max hits, yeah, something like that. Overly draining is usually, I mean, Ultor's usually 3 max hits. For Fang's probably 2, but I don't know. We'll plug in for the anime ape in the inventory. It's by Winter Days. I think it says animated like icons or something. Yeah, it's just called animated icons on the plugin hub. Do I go to Balls to the Walls and sell my Virtus for Ancestral? It is quite a few max hits, but that's up to you. Depends what else you can get with it. How much money do you get from saving the Ancestral Hyjin? Like, I'd say yes if you're just gonna do ToA, but I don't know if you want to lock yourself to the Shadow for a while. Or I guess if you're doing like a lot of Shadow heavy content in general, then yes, it'd be worth it. But like, you know, if you're like a Vardorvis enjoyer or like Colosseum enjoyer, I'd probably say like pick up a Soul Reaper axe. You could always just get the cheaper pieces, like the hat, and still have Virtus top and bottom. Have a Magus ring, you know, it's a pretty good compromise there. Depends. That sounds like a good setup you got going on there, Gaijin. Hi, Jam. I think you can go for the Ancestral. You have enough money to play around and get other things. You have a very solid setup going on right there for solo ToA. And I feel like I feel like I ask you this all the time. I don't think you've asked that before. Should you camp Prims or Arania boots? I would say if you have a ranged heavy setup, you like both Masori or Tbow, and you're not using a Shadow, you probably want to use Aranias. Unless your Prims somehow gives you a max hit with your Fang, I would say you probably want to use Aranias. That's only a 1 strength difference. The reason like Shadow users, they don't really do Aranias is because they do Prims and Eternals. But they already have 2 boots. But you can just pick one with the other setup because you don't really care about major max hits. Where is the damage? There you go. Complain and shall receive. Oops. Rain and purples. Not bad, not bad. It's money. Dropped him, his sorry body happened to Cena, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Ah, I do that all the time. No, why am I like this? Oh, I got blown up twice. The Thrall hit you 17? No, it was the Ranger. Very rude of him, to be honest. Seercull tech? Seercull is for Zebak. You wouldn't. Nine HP? That sucks. Now we have to Red X. I wish I was like 11 HP so I could redemption. I should have put rapid heal on. I should know how to set this up. Oh, looks like I set it up. Oh, and I can't even combat? Sucks. This is very unfortunate. Should have put rapid heal on earlier. Alright. We survived. That's not that bad for having to 6-tick almost 2 phases. How much are ancestral robes? That is pretty cheap. 6-tick that much worse than 5-1. 16% less DPS. So if you like losing a Slayer Helm's worth of DPS, then yes, it is pretty bad about losing Slayer Helm. I call it the off-task Baba. Your comfort for that 16%? Hey, comfort is subjective. 6-tick makes me want to fall asleep. This is not, you're not interacting with any of the mechanics. You're not even reacting to his attacks. Nothing. I guess her attacks. Baba's her. If I hit a 50, I'll hit 1 egg. Nope. No eggs. Why am I flicking? I have another store for this. Dang it. If I have low DPS, I'm probably gonna... Well, if I have like just average or low DPS, I'm probably gonna have to redemption here because I messed up and got bombed. Do you know how swapping to Light Bearer works mid-regen cycle? I think you just can't do it within the... You have to do it within the last 2 ticks for it to work. If you swap and you're like 50% of the way, it'll reset it the whole way. So you can only swap within the last 2 ticks without it kind of like interrupting or resetting. Wait, what? I messed up. Did I redemption twice? I must have double-clicked range. I don't know. Oops. I mean, at the end of the day, that only happened because I got bombed. What the hell is this? Get this out of here. Thought it always reset? Oh yeah, it's also a one-way journey. Minus 10 whole minutes. Oh my god. No, I don't care. Resetting. I misclicked the Undead Grasp. I must reset. Not for speedrun purposes, but out of the perfection mindset. I can't let that slide. Someone has to punish me for that mistake, and that has to be me, apparently. Someone's gotta sink the sand fuse in the game, I guess. The Felling Axe looks cool. Holy shit. Why does it look cooler than the Soul Reaper Axe? How did I fumble that click, dude? That's so toxic. What the heck? Dude, that thing... Freaking Ace Pilot tracked me like a genius. And then we hit one Bone Dagger. Amazing. Got 260 mil. Couldn't find a 4 Soul Reaper. Any suggestions? You seem to be in a nice spot right now. I wouldn't really buy in much else. You could do unfortified Missouri. What am I doing right now? So lost in the sauce right now. The cycle's so off. Could even do fortified. It's not worth it to do fortified. Do you plan on going back to Coliseum for money? No quiver. I was gonna recommend like D-claws would be really nice. Help you really power through those waves. Gets a movement delay due to a special. I'll be honest, I never really knew how to do that. I think you're supposed to wait a certain amount of ticks before restarting Butterfly. I unfortunately do not know how to deal with that. I got around it by just learning Double Trouble, so that every time he does a special, he just leaves the arena anyway. If you're doing solo, fuck it, just learn Double Trouble, I guess. But I think you're supposed to like wait a tick or something. I really don't know. Like obviously you could just tank his melee to kind of like reset the cycle, but that's probably not ideal because then he switches. If you're doing solo, you can kind of just skip learning it by taking Double Trouble. Might as well learn it, right? Do I count ticks? Absolutely not. I took CPR lessons recently, and they said do the compressions at 100 BPM, and I was like, 100 BPM? You know I play RuneScape, right? Easy. I already know my ticks purely by feel. They said just compress once per tick. It's so free. It's like one tick flicking. CPR is just one tick flicking. Nearly at the same thought process. Look, it's so free. I was like, I already know it's ticks. Come on. Got it first try. Of course I can get 100 BPM. I have to be careful not to proc. That one leak. I think if I didn't chin somewhere around here, I could have gotten a 0 leak. Oh, I don't like using the visual metronome. Would you shame your inventory, your viewers for using inventory tags every single time? REGM, I am in fact good morning. But I am not. Then again, I don't flame people who color their notes in like school. I saw a notebook recently of someone who like colored all their notes, and I was just thinking inventory tag user. There's a lot of tasks I don't like doing, and things like content I just am not really interested in. So I don't think I'm ever gonna go for it. Plus, I think I would go for it and go through content I don't like if I thought there was like a valuable ego flex that I can get out of it. But I don't see any flex behind Master anymore. Same thing for Blorva. I used to, you know, it's like how I liked Blorva for the first 2 weeks, and then people started buying it, and I was like, I no longer like it. if it was 100% I know GM wasn't bought or boosted, I would so do it. But that's like the problem with team tasks, is like it's too easy to boost someone. Because if you make it so that every player has to be correct, like perfect, it's gonna be really unrealistic to get. Can't really blame them for having like the tasks set up in the way they are, but highly against all boosting services, basically. I wish boosting services were bannable. TBH. Mr. Reynolds, I come bearing great news. I did a 530 with double trouble. Nice. Didn't put back on, keep back. SMH, dude. There's no easy way to like clone yourself, you know, like here's like the metric I want. If you're GM, right? Theoretically, you should be good enough if someone cloned you, right? Let's say you had a team of 4 of yourself. Could you get the GM times? I'll be honest, I would probably say like at least 30% of the GM owners cannot. If they just cloned themselves and did the task themselves, they would not be able to get the times by themselves, and that's what really hurts. That's where the boosting services come in, and that's what I hate. If you clone yourself 4 more times, and do a 5-man TOB with 5 of yourself, would you make the time? Probably 30% of them would be no. And then the other 40% of the players that carry them, they could probably make like a minute fast a time. That's how I feel about it. Because the GM times aren't like so challenging that it's impossible to get. It's just that the people who boost them like are good enough to boost like anybody. They can boost like a Blade Seldy, a Seldor guy in TOB. They could boost someone without a shadow in ToA now. Aren't boosting services bannable? Nah, they're not. As long as you pay for them with in-game GP, which may or may not happen to also probably have been real world traded. Yeah, like they're not that hard, honestly. Like the GM times, it's just like baseline. Like for example, HMT is really easy. You just get it by doing it, basically. Dang, my reaction time's better. But like, yeah, normal mode's a bit harder. But if you're going max F, you probably get it pretty easy. They banned the servers just because there's a lot of real world trading involved in those services in general. Oh, so many ticks lost here. Oh, I got keep backed. 64. That's a nature, like they've made team content, they want team content to feel kind of like valuable, if that makes sense. So there's not really an easy way to fix it. I'm just gonna sit here and complain and not make any solutions. Some things I just straight up want to be harder. Like, I think the Coliseum GM time should not have been 24. But it's hard. What baffles me is sometimes they're like, we don't want GM times to require good gear. It shouldn't require, like, having insane gear, right? But then they make the Whisper a GM time, and it's like, I don't know. You guys are you guys gotta make a decision here, because you're requiring a shadow for the GM time. Coliseum, I think, is perfect because at the same time, although it's super easy for everyone, anyone who has like a mega rare can do it. It's kind of hard for like a fan guy to do it. Kind of, right? There's no way to do it. I think it's just best to balance around good gear. Is the better way to do it. Rather than trying to do this half-ass thing they're doing, where some of the tasks are brain easy, just do the content, and then some of them are like locked behind the whole mega rare like Whisper, or for a while Nightmare. For a while Nightmare was locked behind it, having a scythe, or like a certain amount of Inquisitor pieces for your scythe to have crush on. Yeah, I think the GM should be balanced around max. You know what I say to the Iron Men? Fuck them, Iron Men. Sorry, Iron Men. Go get your max gear. I'd rather it be more exclusive than be less exclusive. Sorry, Iron Man. If I were in charge of the GMCAs, 100%, all the times would be balanced around having mega rares. Every single one. I'm ruthless. But it sucks that it's inconsistent, because then you have people arguing both ways. Because there's clearly tasks that don't require a mega rare. And then there's clearly some tasks that require having a mega rare. Or, you know, getting a whole, like, 3 ruby bolts, which is insane. Yeah, like Wisp, Nightmare, are like the most notorious ones, like no mega rare, unlucky. How good are the Iranian boots? They're alright. They have a niche. If you're an Iron Man, the Iranian boots are probably insane. You just AFK Syracuse for infinite amount of red spider eggs. That seems really nice. For main accounts, you want to use Iranias basically if you don't have a shadow for ToA. Because when you have a shadow, you want to do Prims and Eternals instead. But like ranged heavy setups, like let's say if you're using a Bofa, or a ZCB Masori or Tbow for ToA as your main damage, you probably want Iranias instead. I so happen to have a shadow now. Well, well, well. Yeah, I'm okay with them being balanced around mega rares and then not being that hard. Like, I think the post-nerf... I think the post-nerf Whisper time was fair. 205. 2 was a little bit rough. Although, I didn't have trouble with it. I can understand, like... They should allow for just a teensy bit of mistakes. And then, although 205 post-nerf was extremely fair. I think the Duke time is more fair now as well. It's the most unfair GM time. I think pre-nerf Vorkath was crazy. What's the redemption time? It's not thing crazy. It's just make sure to have on redemption when you're doing Akkha's memory, so in case you mess up, you don't die to the burn damage. Muspa. I don't remember Muspa. I remember getting it, but I don't remember it being. I did learn Smite Skip though. Maybe that's why it's easy for me. Gauntlet aids? Regular Gauntlet. Yes. Ah, I should have gone on that earlier. Now I'm swimming with the Crocs. Dude, the Crocs deal so much actually. I think regular Gauntlet was free. Not regular, Corrupted Gauntlet was free. Regular Gauntlet was pretty RNG. I did beat it pretty hard though when I first got it. You don't get damaged by the waves. No, you get damaged by these guys, man. Guys, I'm not gonna reveal it until I want the chat to guess. What I got the Gauntlet time. What do you think my first one was? I don't think it's that hard. I think people got baited by doing 5 to 1 too much, but I still think it is more RNG than is necessary. What do you guys think my first? What do you guys think my Gauntlet time was when I first completed the KC? It's gotta be sub 4 in case you don't know the time. Not Corrupted Gauntlet. Regular Gauntlet. It has to be sub 4 for regular Gauntlet. What do you think my regular Gauntlet time was when I very first completed the KC the first time? Was it 4:30? I thought it was 4. Not my first, to clarify, not my first Gauntlet kill in general. My first GM Gauntlet kill. Grotesque was pretty bad pre-nerf. Let me see. This is my first Gauntlet. First one that I had to get below, and I smashed it. Five to 1 bait on God. 5 to 1 going for the 1 prep I think was bait. I went for 2 prep. I got 2 tier 3s and then just destroyed Hunliv. I just put him in the dirt. If you ever have to go for that time, fuck it. If your Hunliv is not that clean, just go for 2 tier 3s. It's so much easier. Like, my Hunliv is not that clean for 5 to 1. I lose a lot of ticks taking off my weapon. Corrupted? Yeah, I got that first try. I was already kind of experienced at regular Gauntlet. I mean, at Corrupted Gauntlet, so I didn't have trouble with that one. But I didn't really go for anything after that, though. 625, yeah. Content I struggle with. Well, I gotta heal up before I die to this freaking Skull's reading chat. Won't get caught slipping reading chat. Content I struggle with, Mutadile. Not Chambers, Mutadile. Specifically Mutadile. No one else in that raid, just Mutadile. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss this because... Oops. I just hit 55s on 3 hits. I don't think he can recover 12 damage. Or 9 damage. How much damage does Fang Spec do? 62? 4? Or I lost 9 damage. I gained 4 back, I think. Not like I'm struggling for time. I just have to do an extra down, but I'm not gonna risk the Fang Spec. I don't think I get it with Fang Spec. I don't even have spec for Fang Spec. Easy Fixer Meta Dial makes ZGS 100%. I would love that, dude. Oh, I could have Fang Spec'd if I had the spec. Wait, wrong weapon. ToA green log? Not really, I'm just doing it because I like streaming it. Who knows though? Maybe I enjoy streaming it all the way to 2000. Let's see, does this proc stun? I don't think it does. I think they should have just changed Muta Dial to be straight up 3-3-3. Like, big Muta should just do 3 range, 3 mage, rinse and repeat. I think their current system of, oh, he might do 4 ranged, he might do 7 ranged, he might do 8 mage, is like, what the hell, man? Just make it consistent, please, I'm begging. For how much damage they loaded onto that guy, it needs to be consistent. If they're gonna make it like an RNG fest, they just need to lower his damage straight up by like 20%. Just give him the Baba treatment. Straight up 20% nerf to chip damage. What world is the most stable for you? Usually US worlds. I can play on either West or East. West I get about 60-70 ping, if I'm not mistaken. East I usually get between 8 to 12 ping. East tends to be less stable, but better ping. Why am I flicking? I don't got time for that. You guys excited for Echo Soul? I am excited to see what they have in store. I hope it's not him just getting more attack speed or anything like that. Well, I would like him to have more attack speed, but I hope he has like more patterns. I would be very happy with seeing like a Spear 3 or Shield 3. That would be hype. Or a third attack style that isn't shield or spear. But since it is reusing the models, I can't imagine what they're gonna do. You know what would be sick? Fake outs. A fake out would be nuts. He puts up his shield and then he freaking spears you anyway. Like you only have like one tick to react or something. You'll never know what he actually does. Until right before he does it. My throw better not troll that 50. Alright, good. Lizardman Shaman jump. You know what would be terrifying? Imagine Big Muta Dog could do the Lizardman Shaman jump. Escapes a safe spot casually. There's no one I fear more in this game than Big Muta. Actually, I would be afraid of Bloat doing that. Never mind. If Bloat had hops, I'd be fearing for my life. Minus one tick. Think Shadow Rebuild is worth? Even if you're not doing ToA, yes. But especially with ToA, yes. Yes. This unique rate is wrong, by the way. It's like 18 and 18.4 actually. Gonna get some early nice sleep for my tattoo tomorrow. Good luck, man. Good luck. Stream regularly? Mostly on weekends. Sometimes I'll stream on weekdays, but not usually on weekdays. How many shadows have we gotten? We've gotten 6 so far. Six shadows. See you, Kajim. Thanks for tuning in. Pathing is not ideal here. Could have been a little bit better, but I guess I'll take it. You mainly can't blowpipe? Yeah. My fastest one so far is 133. I'm trying to get to the low 140s at the very least, like extremely consistently. I think I'm getting there. I'm gonna let him hit me once here. Monkeys, I think, spawned in the rock, which is why they didn't spawn. Why did you start bringing Masori, or did you always bring it? I always brought it. Unless you meant Masori legs. If you meant Masori legs specifically, then you're gonna have to look at the FAQ in the video description. On release was definitely bad. I think the post-volatile change was pretty good. There was a pretty good amount of skill expression on the post-volatile one. I still think it's more skill expressive than the current one we have. But the current one's still pretty good. I don't know about mainly camping blowpipe. Most of it is blowpipe though. You'll see the best tip I have, Justin, for like getting good monkey rooms is there's that wave where it's mostly blowpipeable things, but there's two brawlers. If you're going pretty fast, you want to like hold the brawlers and leave them there. And then when the fix puzzle comes up, you know, like to repair the pillars, you want to do a shadow or sang, whatever you have, or trident, whatever, in between fixing. So you like do a trident, fix, trident, because it's kind of hard to do like a blowpipe, fix, blowpipe most of the time. So if you like work on optimizing your fixes so you're not losing too much of your DPS while doing it, that's how you get fast monkey rooms consistently. You know Bofo and Masori is more DPS on P2? No, you gotta use Crystal. I'm pretty sure Crystal armor, like a 4-way Crystal setup, is stronger than like a 4-way Masori setup by a good bit. But the Masori setup is better if you can bring, I think, 5 or 6-way Masori BP. You see how I have a Twisted Bow in this setup? Do the same setup as me, except change the Twisted Bow for like an Anguish, and it should Be a little bit better than Bofa. Just a teensy bit. Still worse at Akkha though. This is like the worst swarm configuration ever. Ooh, I get double range there, I think. I'll just tank them both like a mad lad. This setup should be pretty good to camp now. Ranger max to prey, 4. I like to heal when I'm at 8 or below, because he can kind of like double stack you with how slow the projectiles get. Move! Game! No. Unlucky. I clicked late. How long you been playing today? 2.5 hours looks like. Love watching me. Thank you very much, man. I don't think it procs there. It did proc there. Somehow he still hasn't switched off melee, even though I got melee twice in the beginning. This is super streamer privilege right here. Any purples today? Yeah, we got him a sorry body. Bruh, I should have summoned a mage troll. I need 1 HP of damage. Seercull RNG pretty good today. Boom. Technically, that's a solve too. Oh, I didn't click fast enough. I greeted the attack. Ah, my legs. Oh great crocodile, I offer you this. I think I want it back actually. Shadow better than Tbow Zebak? Well, may I direct you to the video description. Inside, it describes when you should and should not. Tbow Zebak. Thank you, Mr. Sherman. No problem, man. It's a pretty complex question. Definitely more situations where I'd rather Tbow it. But high invo, I like Shadow. I invos solos. Probably gonna be like 20 HP left. I don't want to risk grasp there. You smell a purple? Another one? I think we're only dry 2. Might be getting a little spoiled. For you. Alright, fine. But you're supposed to bless the streamer. SMH. Good luck. Thank you, Bossman. When was last Shadow? It was pretty recent, actually. I think it was like 40 KC ago, maybe? Or sooner? A few days ago? No, it was like last week. Yeah. Probably like 30 KC, honestly. Last 3 purples have been light bears. Ew. Sorry to hear that, man. Oops. 66 purples, no shadows. Unlucky. Is that 2.5 rate? Almost 3? A little over 2.5. Surely soon. If I didn't get the near back-to-back shadow a while ago, I'd be really dry. Technically, I'm still dry on 6 shadows. I should have 7, but... I'm sensing that one. I'm too lazy to dodge it. Didn't want to lose ticks. Oops. Never lucky. $1.5 mil. That's a light bear. Let's go. Game hard. I can't click. That was a bit of a slow ending. Gonna head out and do some ToA myself. Good luck. No problem, man. Thanks for tuning in, Bossman. Good luck, of course. Doing ToA while watching ToA? SMH. I think I'm just gonna push it. We're about 2 melees off of him proccing range baboons. Ah! Misclicked. If I wasn't such a wuss, I would have skipped that. Do you use audio for Zebak's attacks, or do you physically watch him? Mostly audio these days. I used to watch him. I used to play specifically on the left side so I could watch him, and it's a good tactic. But these days I'm used to it to the point where I just need the audio. It's hard to hear over the boulder and the lightning. Why don't you use the annoyance? Why don't you use the annoyance mute plugin? So you go to annoyance, and you put in 6116 and 2562. 6116 2562, and that should help. It mutes the lightning. There's a plugin for that? Yes, sir. Thank you so much. No problem, dude. Yeah, that will make your life a lot easier. Six one 2 2562. Yeah, I actually don't know what. I don't remember which of the two it is, but those are the only two I have in there. I'm sure one of them is the right one. I'm gonna guess it's 6116. But just put both in, I guess. Noodle Fang right now. There you go. Some damage. He's got ranged off prayer. Humble. Not bad. Rude. Could have saved some ticks if I stayed on the original side. What? I have no idea why my character decided to stop there. Haven't tried butterflying yet. When you're attacking the shadow, how do you move to the square passive without attacking it when you left click? You can use menu entry swapper, basically walk under them by holding shift. You hold shift so you can move past things without attacking. You do shift click when you're going underneath the shadow. When I first saw it, I thought people's clicks were just nuts. That is not the case. Wait, is this virtual insanity? What do you mean? ZCB or Masori? Masori and ZCB or both a crystal? Sore's gonna be better. But hopefully... Oh, I actually don't know if it's a remix. Doesn't look like it. Jesus. Ah! I ate like 9 of them, bro. We live. Let me check the mistake tracker. I actually ate 9 of them. That was like the hardest one I've ever done in my life. I cannot believe I survived. I'm trying to learn double trouble keepback. Do I just load in a low invo and go straight to Akkha for practice? Yeah, that's pretty much it, Aaron. A good tip for getting to the middle of double trouble is when you're butterflying, you want to always run to an attack tile when he does a special. That's disappointing. A 1? You know, actually a 1 is not that bad. Because a 1 means I can respec him later. Better than like a 2. So when he does his double trouble special and he's in the middle, to easily get in the middle, you just need to click one of the attack tiles and then click the symbol in that same quadrant. And it always gets you to the middle without getting hurt. Just make sure you don't stop. Transitions just take like memory and practice. Oh, overridden with a 25. Let's go. Keepback, yeah, you have to have a pretty good feel of his attack timings. But once you get it down, it's really nice, because you just permanently have an extra 30 invo. Definitely worth the investment. Because if you don't do double trouble keepback, you're going to get brick walled below 500s, kind of. Or like, you won't really get good at 500s. You have the inefficient 500s. Tactile the symbol carries you? Yeah, it's so broken. What's the difference between 545 and 540? You just take the 35 timer instead of the 40 timer. What's the difference? 5. Ooh. Speaking facts. It's kind of implied that you're doing certain tactics if you're doing 545 though. If you're doing 545, it's implied you're doing 5 to 1 Baba. Yeah, and that you're swarming Kephri. Because if you don't do those two, it's pretty much doomed on time. I could have undergrassed that one actually. But there's a certain level of like expectation of like what you're bringing. Like you're definitely bringing Bone Dagger, Chins, definitely doing 5 to 1 Baba in a 545 solo. By Jamichael. You know what? Now that you mentioned the song name, not really the song name, the artist name, I think I recognized. That's the one where like the couches are moving and shit, right? I don't think that song was a remix of it. Time to play RS3. How dare you? How dare you? Speak heathenist things in this chat. Treachery. R3 does look like a kind of fun game, not gonna lie. Get rid of the Squeal of Fortune. I think it'd be a great Iron Man kind of game. Looks like RS3 Iron Man looks fun. Whatever removes the MTX. Nice coffee, some ToA. We're big chillin' right now. $200 mil per hour at some. A bond there is 150 mil, as good or as equal to OSRS max GB per hour. No, OSRS is a good bit better. Like for me, I'm making I think 21 mil. Which, and how much is a bond right now? 14? So I'm making 1.5 bonds. RS3 you're making 1.3 bonds, 1.25. Looks like, sounds like 1.3. Then again, we have no idea how accurate / inaccurate the wiki rates are for RS3, because the wiki rates for OSRS are obviously wrong, right? So I'm gonna go under the assumption that the wiki rates for RS3 are probably also incorrect. That's not counting mega scales or dolo content or anything like that either. Me and my friend are thinking about doing a 2+6 next, for example, which is one person managing 4 accounts each. And that's probably good money. That says torture. Don't worry, we have ideas. We have ideas to make it not torturous. There's like no switches. Hope we dodge another Baba boulder. This is probably gonna be like my last raid of the session, unless I get a shadow here. Never purple. Oh, got a Masori top today, though. Only got one purple today? Yeah, just the one Masori top. Masori top is good, though. Alright guys, have a good night.